Good evening, everyone. My name is Ann Winkle, and this is my presentation over Module 7, Internal and External Publics. Let's begin. First of all, description of my assignment. This is, again, my internal-external flow chart, communication chart for Nelson Middle School and Frisco ISD. The reason why I picked Creatively is because I had to use it for a different assignment in a past class I took. I think it was in the summer, and I got kind of the hang of it. It wasn't my favorite, but I did it. A couple things I want you to know. I did not pay for an upgraded version, so they limited the amount of images I could copy in here. That's why there's only 2 pictures, so I apologize. I wanted to add more, but it only limited me to 2. Also, I tried to make it a PDF so I could make it zoom in and out, and it only would do a JPEG, so I'm going to use the JPEG version to show you this and zoom in and out as best I can. I do not really like how small it comes in, but I guess that's part of being a flowchart here. I don't add a lot of words to this because it's kind of like a Google presentation. You speak more than you put on here, so the words are limited, but I will explain in detail as I go through here. I felt this was kind of difficult compared to other assignments. Again, you got to get the hang of using the program. But once I got the hang of it, it wasn't too bad. And so now let me explain to you kind of what I have here and how I came up with all this. So internal and external for Nelson Middle School. The internal public includes, the administration, which includes your APs, counselors, anybody in admin, leadership, school board, district personnel, so your central office staff, executive, director, stuff like that, your faculty, and your students. The main forms of communication for that internal would be your formal ones, which are your emails, the week at a glance that you get in an email, newsletters, those are sent weekly, monthly, staff meetings, agendas, verbal conversations, evaluations of your teaching and such, presentations, and board meetings. Informal are your emails. They can be formal or informal. That's why I put them in both. Conversations you have and meetings that you have in passing hallway situations. So the ones that are bolded and underlined are used most frequently at Nelson Middle School. So that is how I let you know which ones were used and how often they were used. They are targeted for oral and digital distribution. Those are the most common. We use a lot of speaking at staff meetings and in meetings, and then digital using emails and digital newsletters. Nothing is ever printed anymore. So that's kind of the gist of the internal public side. External public, we have parents, city council members, the PTA, very strong group, the mayor, major businesses, and the leaders of those businesses within the community, small businesses as well, which would kind of fall under your other community members, people in the community that might not have a big business, or just people that are big supporters of the school and the district. Forms of communication for the external public would be emails again with parents, newsletters, those can be weekly, monthly, quarterly, Twitter, Facebook, all your social media, district and school websites, that's major, surveys, school meetings, open house, community meetings, open forums, board meetings are also videos, podcasts, and then a local news channel. Podcast is a new one, and a lot of people are really liking it right now. And the main form, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. The main targeted distribution of this is digital. Social media is big. So that's why the external over here, the targeted distribution is digital distribution. So the strengths of my subgroups in the external, let's start with internal. The internal side, some of the subgroups that really are great at communicating, I feel like this faculty is really good. And I feel like our students are really good at communicating as well in all forms. I think those are my strength subgroup on the internal sides. On the external side, my strength subgroup would be the PTA, big piece of Nelson Middle School, and also major businesses. They're very good at communicating, two-way conversations, and not only listening to our needs, but also giving their input. And that is that piece. On the bottom here, proof of two-way conversations. We have surveys and meetings. to prove to you that the external and internal do communicate. There's involvement between the two. There's support from the internal just by helping their time, their money, whatever it can be, and they're all looking for the same thing, the success of the students. So that is proof that we do have two-way communication between the two publics. Which one prefers the two-way communication or requires it? I would say that the internal group, so you guys can see this. The internal group requires more two-way because it is made up of people that work together. I'm all about the team aspect. To be on the same page, a team has to work together. Not only do you have to listen to others, but you also have to give feedback. And that's how a team works. And I feel like that is what your internal public is. It is a team, all working for student success. External, they want two-way communication, but they don't always get it. It's not necessarily required because for the sake of time, internal members are seen as the experts, and just sometimes privacy. That's why you don't always get that two-way. Sometimes the internal is just telling you what they're doing. They're not always looking for suggestions. But I think when possible, and our district is really good at this, and school as well, that we do allow for two-way communication with the external public as much as we can. So that is that explanation. I feel like my chart did a very good job of explaining this in a very simple way, not too detailed again. And again, this is all to support student success and learning. And so that's why there has to be communication between both groups and all the subgroups shown here. Hope you learned a little bit about this, and thank you for listening.